Ladies and gentlemen, maybe you heard, but the ghouls were nerfed. Yes, those beautiful, beautiful lumber gathering creatures, as you can see on the bottom right, in the damage range, it says 11 to 13. In the previous patch, it was 12 to 14, so one more. Overall, this is a nerf, 7.69% of damage output, and there is a lot of talk in the Warcraft 3 community. Is Undead dead? Is Undead still imba? And ladies and gentlemen, I can play ladder, I can tell you what I think, but the only way to get the real data is to get a real show match between an Undead and the arch enemy of Undead are human players in general. And on the top right, playing as No Name. He's a very well-known name. He's Fortitude. And he's opening with Archmage Footman. On the bottom left, the sensation of Dolphin Super League. His name is Labyrinth. He finished second overall. Yes, he finished second. And he finished first in his group. So, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is good. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he's opening with Impale first, so he has all of those good strategies that Mr. Happy developed. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a long series, play all 7. I'm going to provide you the best games, if I'm going to cast the full event, but yes, he's impaling, he's creeping, he's playing so meta. And ladies and gentlemen, remember those ghouls are dealing a little bit less than usual damage, than in the past. And let's see if he's going to slow him down. The good news is that in the late game you don't use the ghouls at all. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can survive into the late game, maybe it's going to be quite fine. And look at what Fortitude is doing. He's creeping the same camp. So far so good for both players. So yes, usually Happy versus Labyrinth, they go head to head. Fortitude had some nice games versus Labyrinth. Again, we need data, and this game is going to provide us the data. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Genius of the Human can start, because with the Staff of Teleportation, you can basically staff to your Scouting Footman and cancel the Undead expansion, because it's all about cancelling the Undead expansion. Can you do it? Ladies and gentlemen, what Undead can do against this, of course, be ready. And I think, yeah, oh, this is a mistake. Look at this Archmage. Look at this Archmage. He's going to buy Staff of Tele. I can feel it. I can feel it. This Expo is dead. I repeat, this Expo is dead. Archmage will staff here, most likely. Maybe not yet, because he sees that ghouls are here. Okay, okay. My casting license, if you know this meme, if I make a big casting mistake. I thought that Archmage is going to staff him, but not really, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Fortitude! Fortitude got impaled. Why? I don't know why, but okay. The most important information, Undead is hugging his Ziggurat as he should. A human is not staffing there. Fortitude wants to play a passive game. Maybe that's the plan, because he knows that ghouls are nerfed. And he just wants to go into the late game, because he's not afraid of the late game. We'll see about that. In general, if Undead expands at the first try, it's very good for Undead. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think about this. We'll see about that.
A player's forces are under attack.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what's now? What's now? Expansion finished. Okay, so what's now? Until this is very good for Undead, don't get me wrong, but until Undead has another Necropolis, then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, killing Acolytes hurts a lot. Human expansion took 0 damage. Good news for the Undead fans. Criplord is on level 3, but man, this Archmage is ready. And this Archmage, of course, will cancel Necropolis. And the question is, how many Acolytes are going to die? The Brave Ghouls, they crept a green camp here, and Fortitude was thinking about getting the item. Criplord is here. We can think about Impale Surround, or maybe Vanilla Surround would be even better. Remember that, of course, there is Staff of Teleportation on the Archmage, Deny on the Ghoul, and yes, Fortitude know about the item. He's suffering from success. He just used the item to get the Sentry Ward Vision, lol. Of course, it's better to get the item for yourself and like use it like that than give it to your opponent. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the amount of ghouls. Nice impale, that was very juicy, connects with two footies, and again this is an impale way of playing, so even though we are on level 3 Criplord, do you see any beetles? I don't see any beetles. What I see is Criplord that like to spam impale. Both players are teching, and the question is again how many acolytes you can kill. So far 0. I would say the game is very open. Archmage has a lot of mana, the pressure will continue. He's just waiting for a right moment. Triple ghouls around, almost, but not really. Archmage is coming back, but man, this, without a lot of footies, this is not going to be that great. But now, Archmage and 2 Water Elementals are quite dangerous. Mamma mia, mamma mia. Yes, it was Impale first, ladies and gentlemen, and on level 1 you skill Impale, on level 2 you skill Beetles, on level 3 you skill Impale. This is very rare to see on low MMR, but on high MMR, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you do, this is what Happy showed us in Dolphin Cocoon into Butterfly Cup. Remember, Undead are usually taking a borrow from a loan from a bank, because they unsummon their Zigura, the altar. So you need to remember to remake altar, and this impale was money, and look at this Criplord going brrr. The crypt got cancelled, but again, one footman has fallen, they have very little HP, and ladies and gentlemen, so far so good. Altar is being remade at the expansion again, and ladies and gentlemen, this is a pretty decent game again for both players. One footman got denied by the creeps, and Archmage is looking for the altar again! He's addicted to cancelling altars! And third attempt to remake the altar. Okay, this is still okay. Altar is not that expensive, especially if you cancel it, you know, in time. But my point is that you need to have altar ready when your tier 2 is ready. So it's going to be like 20-second delay. This is not problematic at all. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. I still like it, and it cost human a lot of footman HP, you know, to try to cancel like that. Speaking about teching, look at tech of the human. Human is already going into tier 3, so Fortitude is going to have a very nice late game. Oh, this is a little bit weird. Super strong tier 2 aggression with Wand of Negation. I hope you have a lot of towers, Mr. Fortitude. There is even Zeppelin, there is even Shredder. Okay, this is a big aggression. Criplord has 8 chargers of Wand of Negation, and he'll buy a heal scroll maybe, not really. Archmage is regenerating a lot. Super big aggression from the Undead. He's going tier 3, but he took all of his ghouls. He wants to do something. Impale connects. Water Elemental dispelled immediately. This clap first. If I would see that many ghouls, I would play clap first as well. And maybe that's the revenge for cancelling the altar over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this Impale connecting. Tier 2 ghoul frenzies. Looks like it. And remember that ghouls are low HP unit, you need to send them back when the time is right. And look at this, another Water Elemental got cancelled. Undead has the map control for now, but it cost him a lot of lumber. Remember that, you know, Undead needs a lot of lumber for slaughterhouses and so on. This is a new creative attempt by the Undead, and he's going in, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, there is Shredder in the human army, there is Shredder. So there will be no lumber issues, but in general, losing some workers is annoying. Beautiful Zeppelin micro is their scroll of regen, there is scroll of regen on the MK. Ghouls are dying, Criplord has a lot of mana, and man, this one Zeppelin. Man, this one Zeppelin. He's like a hospital, flying medical hospital. Look at this, unloading all of those red HP units. And now look at this value from the scroll of regen. In the meantime, Death Knight joined the party. Do we have map control, Mr. Undead? We'll see about that. Human went, you know, tier 3, of course, to get these powerful Gryphons. Fortitude has 1000 gold, as he should, because he is, yes, as you can see, producing a lot with the power of the Shredder. There is no issue. And the Zeppelin is here. Fortitude, Undead, Mr. Labyrinth is scouting for that. Death Knight is getting sweet experience. And ladies and gentlemen, this meta is looking pretty sweet. Okay, we have triple Gryphon Aviary, double Workshop, so Fortitude is doing what he likes to do the most. And so going Gryphons versus Crippler first. And now he's even creeping a pretty big camp with consumable level 4 item, which is Ankh. Pretty good. And the Zeppelin is just flying away, and I'm afraid that he will fly to this expansion. There is no scroll of teleportation, so for Mr. Labyrinth to use it, and how deadly this Zeppelin is going to be. Speaking about the meta, if I would know in advance that this is what is going to happen, I will go for a Gargoyle, because Gargoyle could help a lot during this like mid-game aggression. One Gargoyle just to counter the Zeppelin. Okay, this is a solo Crippler, and this solo Crippler still have one charge of Wand of Negation, and with the power of Impulse, look how much he can do. In the meantime, Death Knight is getting huge, grande experience, ladies and gentlemen. But even though we have a lot of towers, and by a lot I mean two, still some acolytes are dying, but experience is important. You can't buy experience with money. And ladies and gentlemen, what is going to happen now? Paladin joins the party without the items just yet. Supply is lead for human, but experience lead definitely for the undead. Level 3 Death Knight with full mana, that's juicy! And again, not having one brave Gargoyle is a big problem, because this annoying Zeppelin is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the game is still open. I think that is what is happening. We have more and more experience. We have Ghoul Frenzy, of course. Now, inside of the Gryphons Aviaries, we have a full production of those flying birdies. Zeppelin is kinda AFK. Ladies and gentlemen, some people say that human is ahead. Some people say that undead is ahead here. I think that Mr. Fortitude is in a pretty good situation. He's making his big air army, even though he doesn't have hero levels. He is, as we can see, slowing down the push by a lot, and now he'll force Undead to go into his base. Now there'll be an attempt to kill Haunted Goldmine. Crippler is staffing to stop this. He has mana, but is it enough? You need a destroyer here. Nice impale. We have mass repair technology. In the meantime, ghouls are attacking the Arcane Tower, and look at the amount of Gryphons, ladies and gentlemen. I think that human is still in a very good position, and maybe Undead is ahead. We'll see about that. We don't care about the Crippler that much, but the problem is that Undead is trying to kill the barrack, while human is killing very vital, very important structure inside of the Undead base. And ladies and gentlemen, after doing this, entire human army is repositioning, and Undead is afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Fortitude in his classic no hurry mode. There is a legend that when he was explaining Mighty Starbuck how to play Warcraft 3, I mean his own recipe, his own secret sauce, ladies and gentlemen, he said, after you get in this and this position, no hurry. No hurry. There is no point to rush things out. And this is exactly what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is SaulApe and I'm an ape. Undead is trying to expand again. Lich is on level 1, almost level 2. Death Knight has a lot of experience. Oh, one gyrocopter spotted. Undead knows exactly, human knows exactly where Undead is. And ladies and gentlemen, are we going to take a fight? Big supply lead for the human. Again, Undead has experience advantage, but not for long. Are we going to lame? I mean, attack economy and pull back? Are we going to fight? This fight is going to be tough. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, there is militia. There is militia. Mountain King on level 2. It's actually a big help. No one connects with every single Gryphon. That's quite juicy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big fight. Let's see who is going to finish on top. Lich is on level 2, which is not that grande. Nova connects, and we are controlling Gryphons quite well, but supply is growing for the human. Remember that Undead lost his Haunted Goldmine, and because of that, ladies and gentlemen, he can't win this fight. He wanted to trade well, but it's not looking too sweet. Crippler is on level 5, that's nice. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid. I'm okay. Hero kill, can we get the MK? MK went down, and Coil will save the Acolyte. All of this militia with Frost armor. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is intensifying. This fight is intensifying. Of course, I'm aware of the supply disadvantage, but man, this Undead has a heart of the warrior. Lich is trying to get the Gryphon, but Holy Light was enough. Lich is dead. Without Lich, there is no Orb of Corruption effect. and there is just too many Gryphons. Losing the Haunted Goldmine wasn't enough. In the next game versus Zeppelin Lame, I recommend a Gargoyle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this game missed only Gargoyle. This game missed only Gargoyle, ladies and gentlemen. Gargoyles are even better anti-air units. I'm not even talking about attacking those Gryphons again. Remember when Zeppelin was here? We could stop this madness with investment into one flying unit. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Human is celebrating. 75 supply. Finally, better levels. Undead is naked. Undead is naked. Nothing good is happening there. Fortitude versus Labyrinth. Showmatch. F versus F, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everybody, my name is SaulApeMan, I'm an A. What a beautiful showmatch that is. Game number... Oh, hero kill again? Oh, Crippler level 5 has fallen and I think he will leave now. He's still trying, it's game number 1. You know, he doesn't see the numbers, but yes, Crippler level 5 is dead. Paladin level 3 is a big helper here. Fortitude, cool as cucumber, just went into this giga late game. There's no bolt for some time, but Fiends are dying very quickly. 1-1 upgraded Gryphons. MK is back from the tavern. Lich will evaporate, level up, and GG's called. Guys, next games will continue in maybe next video or maybe here, I don't know. But if you like it, subscribe and man, make this Gargoyle. Bye.